What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Wednesday, April 30th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and both NBA playoff games. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing day. And guys, we almost jinxed it there, but not quite. We are on a crazy 8-0 run on our lock of the day play. So slam that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally reply to every single comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, not a bad one. Tuesday went okay. We'll definitely take it. The Yankees minus 155. That was a blowout 15-3 win. So that one could have ended up being the lock of the day. Looks like it would have cashed pretty easily. We had the Reds minus 135. Apparently that one got rained out, so that was a little bit annoying, but Kansas City, Tampa Bay, that under 9. No idea why that total was so high. End up an easy under in that one. We had Karl-Anthony Towns over 1.5 made threes. He made 2 out of 4. Not a lot, but that will work for us. Now, unfortunately, Derek White spoiled things for us a little bit. He was supposed to get over 15.5 points, but only had 5 points and took 6 shots in the entire game despite it being a Boston blowout. So that was a little bit weird, but what are you going to do? We had the Twins plus 130 as our dog of the day. They had a good chance to win that game a couple different times. Unfortunately, they end up losing late in the game 2-1. So that's a little bit depressing, but came through our massive lock of the day. Another win up to 8 wins in a row. Undefeated there since starting the lock of the day. The Brewers minus 230 comes through for us very comfortably. So not a bad day out there. Certainly a winning one. We'll take that, no doubt about it. Now, guys, time to go ahead and hop into some MLB games here for this pretty interesting Wednesday slate. And first up, we're going to be looking at game 1 between the St. Louis Cardinals and those Cincinnati Reds. Now, that game got rained out. It's going to be part 1 of a double header there in Cincinnati. So we'll see what exactly they can get done in this one. The Cardinals obviously haven't been having necessarily a dream start to their season. It's been a little bit rough, a little bit up and down, but they seem like they're figuring things out. At least part of the time they're going to be hitting the ball to Michaelis in this game. Not somebody who's necessarily had an amazing season. He's 0-2, a 5.70 ERA. Now, his last time out was his best start of the year by far. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, but no runs against the Atlanta Braves. That was at Atlanta, but unfortunately for him and for the Cardinals, they took yet another loss with Michaelis on the mound. They are 0-5 in games that he's started. Now, it hasn't been the easiest teams he's faced this year, but how will he do against the Reds, a team that he's got a lot of history against? We'll have to wait and see. The Cardinals in general, the bullpen has been horrendous is a word that comes up for sure. A 4.70 bullpen ERA, definitely not good. The offense has scored a combined 2 runs over the last 2 games. That's not great. And after getting off to a very hot start at the plate, they're all the way down to 12th in the majors in runs scored and 7th in on-base percentage. So not a lot of positives to look at for the Cardinals. The Reds, on the other hand, have been playing really well, winning their last 5 in a row. They're up to 16-13 on the year. They're hitting the ball to Brady Singer, who's been very good for them. 4-0 this year, a 3.62 ERA. His last outing was against the Marlins. He did give up 2 earned runs on 4 hits, but lasted 6 innings, struck out 8, walked 0, and we did see the Reds get the 5-2 win in that game. So really pretty good stuff there from Singer, who's somebody who I would say would have a high confidence level here against the Cardinals. The Reds bullpen has also been very good this year. Maybe not elite, but decent, at least well above MLB average, and their offense seems like it's coming around a little bit. 3, 8, 6, and 8 runs over their last few games. Gavin Lux hitting the ball well. Marte hitting that triple there looked pretty good. Austin Hayes has 5 home runs, and Elly De La Cruz doing some positive stuff. He's got that batting average all the way up to 270, and he's hit 5 home runs, and every time he's on the base paths, it is an absolute treat. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, you see the Cardinals at plus 116. We've got the Reds at minus 136. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Cardinals 2-12 on the road this season. That's pretty bad. 15-12-2 to the over. Cincinnati 7-6 at home, 15-13-1 to the under. We're not changing anything up here, guys. The numbers got even better for the Reds. Give me Cincinnati at minus 136 with a very solid shot to end up in the pinned comment. The Reds look like the far better team with the way they're swinging the bats right now. I also think they have a big edge there on the mound with Brady Singer. Next on the docket, guys, we are looking at the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. We see the Tigers come into this game, guys, 18-12 on the year, so off to a pretty good start, but fresh off a disappointing couple losses here to start this series at Houston, losing 8-5 and then 6-4. Now, we see the Tigers handing the ball in this one to Jackson Jobe. This young guy has been off to a fantastic start. 22 years old, he's 2-0, a 2.70 ERA in the big leagues. That's got to feel pretty nice. His last start was against the Kansas City Royals. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, only a single earned run in that one. He blanked the Minnesota Twins the game before that, giving up no runs on 2 hits over 6 innings. And the Tigers are 4-0 in his start. So not a lot of negatives to find here for young Jackson Jobe. Now, the Tigers bullpen also been pretty solid. In general, I think Detroit's happy with what they've done at the plate this year as well. I mean, we've seen McKinstry get off to a good start. Torkelson's up to 8 home runs and 24 RBIs and is still batting .243. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored. They're top 10 in on-base percentage. Like, a lot of things adding up right now here for this Tigers team to get off to a good start. Now, they got to pitch a little bit better. Got to pitch a little bit better here. You can't be giving up 8 runs and 6 runs here to the Astros. Not a team that's hit the ball well to start the year. Houston comes into this game 16-3 on the season. They've won 3 in a row now, so having a good time at 16-13. I don't think they're too upset. Hitting the ball in this one to very young AJ Bombog. He comes into this game not exactly, hasn't done a lot so far this season. It's going to be his opening, his first start of the year. We'll see what he can do out there. Obviously, a very young guy in his first major league start seems a little bit hard to back. So we'll see what he can do out there. We'll see what the Astros bullpen can do in terms of their offense this season. I think we've been relatively disappointed, to be honest, with what we've seen out of their offense. Now, they've done some positive things, don't get me wrong, but they're not exactly an offense that I feel like has been lighting the world on fire, and their bullpen numbers over the course of the year have been top tier. So, yeah, offensively, still being led by Jose Altuve. .272 batting average, not great. 22nd in the majors in runs scored. This series so far, or these last 3 games, have really been their best 3 offensive games of the season. So, will that continue in this one going up against Jackson Jobe? Seems like a big ask to me, guys, but the odds makers, they're pretty high on the Astros. The Tigers are +110. The Astros are -130. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. Detroit only 5-9 on the road. They continue to struggle when away from home. The Astros, they are 11-6 at home. We see both teams showing significant trends here towards the under. So you could definitely talk me into under 8.5 in this game. That seems extremely reasonable. However, I'm not going to be playing that because I'm a little bit worried about a very young and very inexperienced starter going out on the hill for the Houston Astros, which makes me think the Tigers here at +110 could end up being our dog of the day. It's not a very big dog, guys, so this may not end up being our biggest underdog of the day, but I would say, it's definitely got something of a chance here because the Tigers, with Jackson Jobe on the mound, have been dangerous this season. Quick reminder, guys, all of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row. It's off to an insane start to this year, and premium picks overall have been on fire. Just crazy stuff over, it's up to our last 50 plays winning at some ridiculous clip. So at some point that will cool down, but it's not slowing down anytime soon, it doesn't look like. So we'll see how that goes. We appreciate you. Please get over to StumpTheSpread.com. You'll see our exclusive free picks. Only posted there are free to use bet size calculators and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and probably will not match what you see here in the video. I'm not the MLB capper for Stump the Spread. Also, guys, you need to get to Stump the Spread to see our free email newsletter. Just click the button to sign up for a free account. I think all they need is your name and your email address, and you'll be getting free picks straight to your inbox, as well as parlays and updates on our results. If you're a huge fan of what you see here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member each month, and as we get more channel members, we'll be doing more and more giveaways. Our giveaway here for May is coming up pretty quick. Members also get early access to our videos and get their names up on screen in every single video. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Miami Marlins going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Marlins and Dodgers are currently playing right now, but I think the Dodgers are going to win, guys. They're up 15-2 in the top of the 9th inning, so seems like the Dodgers in pretty good shape. The Marlins coming to this one 12-16 on the year, looking like they're going to be fresh off their 4th straight loss. They're handing the ball in this one to Cal Quantrill, who's 2-2 this season, a 7.83 ERA. Now, his last start was against the Mariners. Not great. 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Start for that, he got absolutely shelled by the Phillies, so yeah, not super high here on Quantrill this season. It has not been great. Now that Marlins bullpen, they also have had their struggles, guys. A 4.41 bullpen ERA, pretty terrible in terms of their offense. Obviously coming off a game where they're going to score probably 2 runs doesn't feel great. They've scored 2, 6, 6, 0, 8, and 2 runs over the last few. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, 16th in slugging percentage. Just not a great offensive team. So they're going to have some trouble going up against the Dodgers, who are about to have their 20th win of the season, be 20-10 on the year. They're hitting the ball to Tony Gonsolin, he comes into this game. Yeah, we'll see what he can do. This is going to be his first start of the year coming off of a back injury. So, yeah, it feels like a little bit of a sketchy spot, to be honest. We'll see what he can do out there. I'm not super high on this guy, at least making his first start here of the season. Now, the Dodgers bullpen, it's been reasonable but not great. A 3.64 bullpen ERA is fine, not anything to write home about. The thing for the Dodgers is that offense that can get anybody the win. Pretty much get anybody to win. They're 7th in the majors in runs scored. They are 4th in the majors in slugging percentage. They're coming off a game where they're going to score 15 runs. That's some pretty crazy stuff. So looking at the numbers, I'm not shocked to see the Dodgers as huge favorites at minus 295. The Marlins are plus 240. We've got a total of 9.5 out there. Miami 4-8 on the road. 19-9 to the over. That's an MLB best mark to the over. The Dodgers 13-3 at home, 16-13 to the over. I'm not too interested in either side. I'm obviously not taking the Marlins, and I'm not taking the Dodgers as massive favorites with a guy making his first start of the season, but I will take over 9.5 in this game. That seems extremely reasonable to me here. I think we'll see plenty of offense out there, and if the Dodgers keep going the way they are, they could end up covering this 9.5 run total all by themselves. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Angels come into this game 12-6 on the season, losers of their last 4 in a row. After that hot start, things have cooled off pretty aggressively. Now, they're handing the ball to Tyler Anderson, who's been by far their best starter this year. He's 2-0, a 2.60 ERA. His last start, good one against the Pirates. And we also noticed, guys, the Angels of all teams are 5-0 in his 5 starts. Last time out against the Pirates, he gave up 3 earned runs in 6 innings and still managed to help his team get the win. So very, very solid stuff. He seems to get some run support, and honestly, Tyler Anderson has been absolutely lights out this season. So I don't see any reason that won't continue here going up against the Mariners, but it's, you never know. Now, the Angels' bullpen hasn't been great, but Anderson puts very little pressure on that bullpen because he goes deep into games. The offense has not been there. They've scored 3, 0, 1, 4, and 4 runs over their last few. Mike Trout with 9 home runs and 18 RBIs is cool, but he's batting 173. They're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They're 29th in batting average, and they're dead last in on-base percentage. Just not a good offensive team. So we'll see what they can do here against the Seattle Mariners, who come into this game 17-12 on the year. They've won their last 3 in a row, hitting the ball pretty well, which is shocking to see for a Seattle Mariners team. Now, they're hitting the ball in this one to Emerson Hancock. He's 1-1 this season, a 7.71 ERA. That's mostly due to just having a horrifying time in his first start of the season against Detroit, where he only lasted 2/3 of an inning and gave up 6 runs. Now, his last couple starts have been very serviceable. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Cincinnati. That was at Cincinnati. And then 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Boston. Both of those games, I will note, were wins for the Seattle Mariners. So looking at the bullpen situation for Seattle, it continues to be very solid, guys. Not elite like we've seen last season, but I think they will end up looking elite by the end of the year. A 3.79 bullpen ERA. Nothing to turn your nose up at there. The offense is what has been, drastically different here for the Mariners. They've scored 5, 7, 14, 4, and 4 runs over the last few games. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored, top 4 in on-base percentage. Like, numbers you could never have imagined if you watched a single Seattle Mariners game last season. It was pretty wild how bad this team was at the plate last year. So we'll see what they can do at the plate in this one going up against Tyler Anderson. Looking at the numbers, the Angels are plus 125. The Mariners are minus 145. We've got a total of 8.5. The Angels 7-11 on the road, 14-12-1 to the under. Seattle 10-6 at home, 15-11-2 to the over, which is kind of shocking to see. I think the under is very much in play in this game, guys. I think we'll see Anderson have a good outing. Hancock's been pitching the ball well his last couple outings out there. So, yeah, I'm expecting generally a pretty low-scoring game. So, under 8.5 makes sense. I also think we got to take a look here at the Angels at plus 125 as our lock of the day. They are not a good offensive team. That's what scares me off. But Tyler Anderson has been so good this season. That's why I think they have a significant chance. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Giants come into this game 19-11 on the year, but they lost 7-4 in game 1 of the series. Bogartis hitting a home run, driving in 3, helping the Padres there a lot. So we'll see if the Giants can bounce back here a little bit, hitting the ball to Landon Roop. He comes into this game 2-1 on the year, 4.56 ERA. His last start was against the Milwaukee Brewers, and it did not go well. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them were earned. He didn't give a home run in that game, but overall a pretty rough outing. So we'll see if he's got a bounce back in him. Going up against the Padres, not the easiest team to bounce back against. Now the bullpen situation for the Giants has been amazing, and them and the Padres, they've been the best 2 bullpens in Major League Baseball all season long. Offensively, the Giants got off to a very good start, but they have cooled significantly. They're 23rd in the majors now in batting average, 20th in slugging percentage, 19th in on-base percentage. They've scored 4, 3, 3, 0, 6, and 4 runs over their last few games. Not exactly looking like a top-tier offensive team. Now, maybe they will be eventually. Maybe we'll see them, ascend again, but we'll see if they can do it against the Padres, who are 18-11 on the year. They needed that win in Game 1 to snap what was a 4-game skid. They're hitting the ball to Michael King. He's 3-1 this year, a 2.18 ERA, off to a very, very good start to his year. He's only had one outing that he struggled a little bit, giving up 3 earned runs against the Athletics, but over his last few, it's been dominant. He had a 9-inning, 2-hit start there against Colorado, gave up 2 earned runs over 5 2/3 against Houston, and then gave up 1 run. It wasn't even earned over 5 innings against Tampa Bay his last time out. So I'm pretty high on what we're seeing right now from Michael King, no doubt about that. Like we were saying, the Padres bullpen, the best bullpen right now in all of Major League Baseball, and this is an offense that's been struggling lately, but has shown here in the early goings they can be absolutely elite. Now, they're 4th in the majors in batting average still, but 23rd in runs scored and 10th in on-base percentage. Those run scored numbers are going to go back up. I know they've been floundering lately, but at some point, guys like Fernando Tatis are going to get back on track. Gardis, they're having a very, very good outing. So, yeah, I'm expecting good stuff here from the Padres, even going up against a pitcher who's been pretty decent this year. Looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Giants at plus 116, the Padres at minus 135. There are totals out there of 7 or 7.5. San Francisco is a good road team, 10-6 on the road, 16-12-1 to the over. The Padres, 12-4 at home, 17-10-1 to the under. I'm not interested in this total, guys, but I will take a look there at the Padres at minus 135 with King on the mound. He's been throwing the ball so well. Seems like this offense is getting back on track. I like the Padres here a good amount. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road here to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Twins come into this game 13-17 on the year, fresh off of a Game 2 loss there. They lost 2-1. Manzardo hitting a home run in the 9th inning gets the Guardians the win there. So the Twins have to deal with the disappointment now. They're handing the ball to Pablo Lopez, who's 2-1 this year, a 2.08 ERA. He's back. His last start, coming off of missing some time there. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs allowed. Not a bad outing at all. Gave up two walks, but 6 strikeouts. So Pablo Lopez looking pretty good now that he's back out there on the mound. The Twins bullpen has not been a problem this year, a 3.38 bullpen ERA. Certainly not a big problem there. Now the offense for the Twins, it's been a little bit all over the place, but recently it's been much better. I know they're coming off a game they scored only 1 run, but the game before that they scored 11. We're liking the trajectory right now, the Twins offense. They're 19th in the majors in runs scored still, but despite being 21st in batting average, these are all numbers I expect to see head in a much more positive direction here as they take on the Guardians, who are 16-13 on the year. They're coming off that 2-1 win, which snapped a 3-game losing streak. They're hitting the ball to Luis Ortiz, who's 2-3 this season, a 5.96 ERA. Not what you were hoping to see if you were a Cleveland Guardians fan. Now, his last outing was against the Yankees, but he did not have a good time. He walked 5 in that outing, gave up 4 earned runs on 5 hits over 4 1/3 innings, and we did see the Guardians take the 4-1 loss. He's had some good starts mixed in, but also some pretty bad ones. Now, going up against the Twins, do they qualify as a good offense or a bad offense? Right now, I would say they're trending towards good, but we will kind of have to wait and see. Also, the Cleveland bullpen has not been as good this year as we've seen them, like last season. Definitely not. They're currently sitting middle of the pack with a 3.72 bullpen ERA. The offense coming off a 2-run game has scored 2, 1, 3, 3, and 5 runs recently. When you depend too much on just a couple guys, it's going to be a little bit rough. Without that Manzardo home run, they very likely could have lost this game. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored, 22nd in on-base percentage. So look at the numbers here. The Twins are minus 130. The Guardians are plus 110. We've got a total of 7.5. Minnesota 4-10 on the road, 15-11-3 to the under. Cleveland 8-5 at home, 15-11-2 to the over. I'm definitely taking the Twins here at minus 130 with Pablo Lopez on the mound. They're in a bounce back spot. I think they're the better team at the plate right now. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the Guardians. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Luis Ortiz. Give me Minnesota in this one. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees come into this game 18-12 on the season. They've won 3 out of their last 4, including winning 15-3 there against Baltimore. So, yeah, guys, do me a big favor. Slam that thumbs up button for cashing that Yankees pick yesterday. They could have been our lock of the day. We cashed a different lock of the day, though, so we'll take that as well. But definitely slam that thumbs up button for the no-sweat 15-3 win there for the Yankees yesterday. They're 18-12 on the year, but they are hitting the ball in this one to Carlos Carrasco, who, despite being 1,200 years old, is 2-1 on the year, a 5.26 ERA there for the Yankees. His last outing was his best outing of the season. He's had a couple decent ones mixed in with some pretty bad ones. He was against the Toronto Blue Jays, went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs allowed in that game, walked 2, struck out 2, but unfortunately the Yankees took the 4-2 loss, not able to give him much run support. So we'll see if he has got another good outing in him, see if the Yankees can support him a little bit this time. The bullpen for New York has been solid this year. A 3.06 bullpen ERA has them 7th in the majors, and the offense, while it hasn't been incredibly consistent necessarily, has been elite. Obviously, they're coming off a game they scored 15 runs. They're 2nd in the majors in runs scored. They are 1st in batting average, 1st in slugging percentage, and 1st in on-base percentage, getting on base at nearly a 350 clip. So this Yankees team, pretty wild stuff. They hit 4 home runs in the first inning. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do against them sometimes. It's just pretty nuts. So we'll see what they do here against the Orioles, who come into this game 11-18 on the year, off to a nightmare start. They're hitting the ball to Cade Povich, and this young guy has not had a great time. He's 1-2, a 5.04 ERA. Now, he is coming off of an excellent start against Washington, but that's Washington, bro, and now you have to face a New York Yankees. So that could be a bit of a big ask. Going to be the toughest offense he's faced this season, and we'll see what the young guy can do. Obviously, he's coming off a good start, so maybe he's figured something out. Now, even if he does have a good start, at some point the bullpen's going to come into play, and the Baltimore bullpen is 26th in the majors with a 4.84 ERA. That is a terrible bullpen, guys. No doubt about that. The offense for Baltimore has also been MIA all season long. They're 25th in the majors in batting average. They're 20th in runs scored overall. They've scored 3, 4, 0, 2, and 3 runs over their last few games. It is getting very, very bleak there in Baltimore. So looking at the numbers for this game, I'm a little bit shocked to see the numbers. I mean, the Yankees are minus 118. The Orioles are plus 100. We've got a total out there of 10. The Yankees are 8-7 on the road, 14-2 to the over-under. Baltimore 6-7 at home, 14-12 and 2 to the over. I'm not going to take over 10. That seems like crazy, like a terrible, crazy idea, but I will go ahead and take the Yankees here at minus 118. I know Carlos Carrasco's on the mound, guys, but Cade Povich has been bad. Now he's got to face the Yankees. I don't think he's going to have a great time out there against Aaron Judge and company. So, yeah, definitely give me the Yankees here. I think they should be much bigger favorites in this game. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Chicago Cubs going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cubs come into this game 18-12 on the season, fresh off a 9-0 win there over the Pirates in Game 1. They're probably feeling pretty good about life right now, honestly. They're handing the ball in this one to Matthew Boyd, who's off to I would say, a solid start. 2-2, but a 2.54 ERA. Now, his last outing was his worst outing by far. It happened against the Dodgers, and some guys are going to get shelled by the Dodgers this year. There's no way around it. And this poor guy has faced a tough road this season. In his 5 starts, he's faced the Dodgers twice, the Padres twice, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now he gets to face the Pittsburgh Pirates. A nice little break. I would say Matthew Boyd deserves it here. Now, the bullpen for the Cubs comes into this game not looking great, a 4.81 bullpen ERA, but they're showing signs of improvement, and that is something desperately needed for the Cubs. But when the offense is going, you don't even need a bullpen at this point, guys. They're coming off a 9-run performance, a little bit of a bounce back from struggling for a bit, but they're still 1st in the majors in runs scored. They're still 3rd in the majors in batting average, batting 260 as a team, 2nd in on-base percentage, getting on base at a 340 clip. Like, this is an elite offense. Just looks like that's just blatantly the truth. So we'll see what they can do here against an NL Central opponent in the Pittsburgh Pirates, who come into this game, guys, 11-19 on the year. They've lost 3 in a row and 4 out of their last 5. They're hitting the ball to Carmen Moldzinski, hoping he can turn things around for them and kind of for himself. Bro is 1-3 on the season, a 6.95 ERA. Not exactly what you want to see. He's coming off a bad start there at the Angels. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. So not a disaster, I guess, but not great. Definitely better than the 9 hits, 5 runs he allowed over 4 innings against Cleveland start before that. Not a starter that I am very high on whatsoever, and I'm also not in love with that Pirates bullpen. They've been better than the Cubs, but not drastically. ERA of nearly 4. Doesn't exactly get me going, and neither does this offense that scored 0, 2, 4, 3, and 3 runs over their last few games. Nobody hitting the ball particularly well here in the early goings. They're 28th in the majors in slugging percentage, 26th in batting average, batting 224 as a team. This is just not a good offense. There's no way to sugarcoat it too much. So look at the numbers here. The Cubs are minus 175. The Pirates are plus 150. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. The Cubs 9-5 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. They're 18-10-2 to the over. The Pirates 6-8 at home, 15-14-1 to the under. I'm not interested in the over/under, guys, but the Cubs at minus 175 has an excellent chance to be our lock of the day. I think we're going to see lights out stuff there from Matthew Boyd. I think he is light years better than anybody the Pirates are going to put put on the mound in this game. The Cubs bullpen is headed in the right direction. The offense is not slowing down anytime soon. There could be weather impacting this game, so keep an eye on that a little bit. But overall, guys, the Cubs at minus 175 I think is a fantastic spot. I think it should be closer to like minus 250 in this game. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Nationals come into this game 13-17 on the year. They just lost game 1 of the series 7-6, so very close stuff. A wild pitch there, crazy ninth inning. Wild stuff. The Nationals probably should have won that game, if we're being honest. Now they're handing the ball to Jake Irvin, hoping he can save them once again. He's 2-0 this year, a 3.19 ERA. His last outing, he was very good, guys. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, only 1 earned run given up, 1 strikeout, 4 walks there, or 1 walk, 4 strikeouts there against the New York Mets. Dominant stuff. He's been very good over his last 3 outings, and we're loving what we're seeing from Jake Irvin, and I'm sure the Nationals brass is loving it as well. Now, the bullpen for the Nationals is a whole different situation. They are by far the worst in the majors. A 7.47 bullpen ERA is embarrassing. The offense has had its ups and downs this year. Obviously, they've scored 6 runs in game 1 of this series. They've scored 6, 5, 8, 0, and 5 runs over their last few. So hitting the ball better than they have at other points this year, but it's not looking elite or anything like that. I mean, they're middle of the pack in runs scored. They're 21st in on-base percentage, and I'm not 100% sure if this offense really has the legs to maintain being an MLB average run-producing offense. So we'll see what they do here against the Phillies, who have been all over the place this year. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. Winning game 1 of this series, I'm sure, feels nice. The way they did it probably feels a little bit weird. Now, they're handing the ball to Christopher Sanchez in this game, who's 2-1, a 3.42 ERA. He's been okay this year, but not his normal dominant self a lot of the time. He had a bad start against the Dodgers. Sure, that's going to happen. His last time out only lasted 2 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs there against the Mets. Yeah, not great. Obviously, maybe not even 100% healthy. So we're very worried about Sanchez in this game just in general. We'll see if he's fully healthy. If he doesn't go deep into the game, you get that Phillies bullpen out there for a while, and you're going to see some fireworks. A 5.25 bullpen ERA. They are second worst. The Phillies and the Nationals, the 2 worst bullpens in baseball. Now, the offense for the Phillies finally coming alive. They scored 7, 3, and 10 runs over their last few games. Schwarber doing his thing out there. They're 14th in the majors, run scored, 3rd in on-base percentage. I think this offense is gonna be just fine, and so do the odds makers. The Nationals are plus 188 in this game. The Phillies are minus 225. We've got a total of 8 out there. Washington 4-10 on the road, 15-14-1 to the under. The Phillies 10-4 at home, 15-14 to the under. I think this is a very reasonable spot to take a small look there at over 8. I don't think that's insane in this game. I know Irvin's good, and Sanchez can be good, but both bullpens are so bad. I think we could see some offense. In terms of a side in this game, I kind of think you want to lean towards the Nationals as the huge underdogs, because Sanchez might not even be fully healthy for this game, and even if he goes out there and gives 5, maybe even 6 positive innings, that Phillies bullpen is capable of giving up any leads. So not going to the pin comment or anything like that, but I think the Nationals is probably the side you want. In the final Major League Baseball game we're going to cover today before we hop over to the NBA slate, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Royals won game 1 of this series 3-1. Freddie Fermin, 3 hits, very good stuff. Lorenzen, very good out there, and we easily cashed the under 9 on this game. I couldn't believe the total was 9. We see 4 total runs in this game, and that's more than I even expected to see. So we'll definitely cash that. Hit that like button if you enjoyed cashing that under there on the Royals against Tampa Bay Rays. In this one, Kansas City's handing the ball to Noah Cameron, who's going to be making his first start of the season. Yeah, fresh out of St. Joseph, Missouri, this young 25-year-old gonna see what he can do out there on the big league mound. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. It's tough to back a guy in his first start in the majors. We'll see how that goes for him. Now, the Royals' bullpens looked better recently. A 3.38 bullpen ERA, very solid. The offense still not killing it. It's showing, trends towards the right direction. Bobby Witt Jr. with that 20-game hitting streak is very crazy. That's cool to watch, cool to sweat that every day. But yeah, they've scored 3, 2, 2, 6, and 7 runs over their last few games. So let's not freak out too much about the 29th highest scoring offense in the majors. This is not a good hitting team. So we'll see what they do here against Tampa Bay Rays, who are 14-15 on the season. They are fresh off of that loss, but they had won 5 in a row before that. So this team's been playing well. They're handing the ball to Drew Rasmussen, who's 1-1 this season, a 2.10 ERA. And so far, he's been the best red-bearded starter there for the Tampa Bay Rays. Probably the best red-bearded starter in the MLB this season. Let me know in the comments if you can think of a better starter in the major leagues with a red beard. But regardless, guys, we liked what we saw from him against the Yankees. Did not like what we saw from him his last time out against Arizona. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and a home run allowed. Now, not a disaster at Arizona. Like, that's a tough place to pitch, but We expect more from Rasmussen given what he's done so far this season. Now, the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen has been very good. A 3.02 bullpen ERA has been 5th best in the majors. Nothing wrong with that. The offense hasn't been killing it, but they've been getting the job done. I mean, 1, 4, 4, 1, 7, and 7 runs over the last few games. Better than we were seeing in the early goings, that's for sure. They're 7th in the majors now in batting average, 17th in runs scored, 13th in slugging percentage. I think we could see this offense show some signs of improvement here as the season goes on. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Royals at plus 150, the Rays at minus 178. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Royals are only 4-10 on the road this year. They're 19, 10, and 1 to the under. Tampa Bay 9 and 11 at home, 16, 11, and 2 to the under. I'm going to take under 9 in this game. I don't think either offense is good enough to put up a ton of runs. I don't think either bullpen is bad enough to collapse. I don't think Noah Cameron's going to get destroyed in his first outing. He might not look great, but I don't think he's going to get killed out there. And Rasmussen's in for a bounce back himself. So I think under 9 is a very good play in this game and honestly has some outside chance to end up in the pinned comment. Now, guys, hopping over to the NBA side of things, we're looking at the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the Houston Rockets. The Warriors come into this game probably feeling pretty great about the way things are looking. They're up 3-1 now after a 109-106 thriller there of a win against the Houston Rockets in Game 4. The Warriors have really shown they've shown a lot in this series so far. We've seen Jimmy capable of winning games for them. We've seen Steph capable of winning games for them, even without Jimmy on the floor. Now, Steph, a quiet night, 17 points, but he was a plus 12 out there. Pajemski, a massive night, 26 points, but Jimmy Butler was the real star there for the Warriors, making all 12 of his free throws, including some huge ones down the stretch. He was 7 of 12 from the field in his 40 minutes coming back from that. I mean, you can call it a pelvis injury if you want, guys, but he's butt hurt right now. His butt is hurt. Now, it looks like he's going to be okay. He came back and played well. We'll see if, there's any lingering problems here, but I expect him to look better and better now. Quentin Post played great off the bench as well, but other than that, no major bench contributions there from the Warriors, who did shoot 90% from the free throw line and 37% from 3 in the game. Definitely outshining a Rockets team that shot only 19 of 31 from the free throw line. So they really have no one to blame for themselves losing this game but themselves. But the Warriors come into this game fully healthy. Jimmy, on the injury report, but he's definitely going to play. The Rockets also come into this game fully healthy. They're going to need, I don't know what they're going to need, to be honest. It's pretty wild. If you'd have told me Fred VanVleet was going to go off for 25 points and Sengun was going to put up 31, I'd be like, damn, the Warriors definitely lost that game. But that is not the case. Very little production there off the bench. It looks like Steven Adams is going to have a bit of a hard time staying on the floor. Steve Kerr more than willing to employ the hack of Adams strategy, and if you can't make your free throws, bro, that's just the way it's going to go. The Sengun really has to be the go-to scorer, but it gets a little bit rough for him down the stretch, and I don't know. We'll see what he can do out there, but I don't know if he can put up a 40-piece to carry this team to a win. Jalen Green's been MIA since his big game. I think there's a chance he could bounce back in this one, but kind of seems like bro is cooked. He's been really, really struggling out there ever since that big game. So looking at the numbers for this one, we see the Rockets at home here with their backs up against the wall as 4.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 203.5. The Warriors 24-17-2 against the spread on the road. They are 44-43 to the under. Houston 22-21 against spread at home. 45-39-2 to the over. This is a little bit of a tough spot, guys. I have a better lean on the other game in terms of the side, but I'm going to take the Rockets at minus 4.5 in this one because I think the Warriors, with a 3-1 lead, are going to take their foot off the gas here a good amount. So give me the Rockets minus 4.5 as a slight lean, but I've got some player props that I like on this game a lot better than I like the side or better than I like the total. I don't even know what to take here as the total of 203.5. I guess over, but not a big lean there. In terms of the player props, though, first up, I like Jimmy Butler here, over 18.5 points. He's had 27 points and 25 points in the 2 games he's actually played his full minutes in. He's not about to take his foot off the gas now. He's had more time for his pelvis injury to heal. I think we see Jimmy Butler have a very solid night, whether the Warriors win or lose. And on the other side, I think Amen Thompson finally going to have a little bit of a breakout game here. I'll easily take him over 12.5 points. He had 17 in Game 4. Didn't play necessarily amazing, in my opinion. Going back home will help him out. It'll help all the role players for the Rockets in general. This team can't possibly be this bad offensively overall, can it? So I think Amen Thompson should be able to find some scoring in this game. Last but not least, we're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Los Angeles Lakers, with the Lakers being the team with their back up against the wall here. Now they are down 3-1 after giving up a very, very tough one in Minnesota. A game they, I'm sure, feel like they should have won, getting outscored 19-32 there in the fourth quarter. Has to feel pretty rough for the Lakers. Now the Timberwolves, I'm sure, are flying. I'm sure they feel great after that win. Now they've got a chance to close things out. The Timberwolves had got just like a crazy Mount Rushmore game for Anthony Edwards. I've been throwing that term around maybe too much recently, but a crazy game. 5 of 10 from 3, 12 of 23 from the field, 14 of 17 there from the free throw line. Very good stuff from him. Obviously, dominant stuff. Julius Randle played pretty well, although I'm not going to throw you a parade for 9 of 22 from the field. We liked what we saw from Jaden McDaniels. He played great. Now, Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley were both terrible, but that didn't end up mattering there in the end. Dante DiVincenzo still can't put together a decent game in this series, but I do think we'll eventually see him snap out of it. He's had way too much success in big spots over the course of his career. So we'll see what goes on there. The Minnesota Timberwolves come into this game fully healthy, and I'm sure stoked after that win. Now, the Lakers, on the other hand, they are probably pretty depressed, but now that their back's up against the wall, it's time to put up or shut up. We saw a very nice game from Rui Hachimura, 23 points, 5 of 10 from 3 from him. LeBron got to the free throw line 18 times, ended up scoring 27 points. A massive game from Luka there with 38 points from him, but Austin Reeves and his 17 points, cool. Seems like JJ Redick might have made a misstep there by playing all of these guys way too many minutes. If you're asking these players to ask their way off the court, I just don't think you're going to see it. You're going to have to be the one that jerks them out of the game occasionally and forces them to rest, and you got to find a way to make that rest the most efficient you can make it be. So the Lakers take the loss there. They come into this game fully healthy, though, so we'll see how it goes. They've got their backs against the wall. They're 5.5-point favorites, though, at home. We've got a total of 209.5. Minnesota, 23-20 against the spread on the road, 46-42 the over. The Lakers, 28-15 against the spread at home, 43-43 to the over/under. Guys, I'm kind of slamming it here on the Lakers at -5.5. Now, it's a little bit too big of a spread for this to be a true slam, but I definitely think you want to be on the Lakers here at -5.5. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but can you really imagine the NBA being happy with the Lakers getting knocked out in the first round in 5 games? Seems unlikely to me. Also seems unlikely that LeBron and Luka can't come up with some magic here playing at home. So love the Lakers here to win this game by at least 6. I also think over 209.5 is super live in this game. Both teams can definitely score. We've seen plenty of their games in this series. I mean, what are the totals in this series looked like? I can't imagine that this hasn't been mostly over this number yet. The last 2 games have been way over. The three out of the 4 games have been way over this total. So definitely give me the over here as well. And in terms of some player props for this game, I got 3 that really jump out to me. First up, I like Luka here, over 31.5 points. He had 38 in game 4, should have had more. He has to be the reason they win these games, because LeBron can't or maybe won't be and you can't convince me these two can't find a way to stave off elimination, and Luka Magic is definitely going to help with that. I also like Luka over 6.5 free throws made in this one. He's going to get to the line a ton in this game. I think we're going to see the refs really tighten up a little bit here on what they're letting the Timberwolves get away with on defense. And I like LeBron here, over 5.5 made free throws in this game as well. He made 15 free throws in game 4. I don't think he's going to make that many, but bro, making 6 seems extremely reasonable. He's going to go to the cup. He's going to get fouled plenty. I definitely think this is a good spot to look at the over on both of the Lakers superstars on free throws. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. Click the link in the description to check out StumpTheSpread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.